Thaboxingvoice live here with trainer JDs. How are you? First and foremost, thank you for the opportunity. Good weather out here. Liking the sparring partners you chose. Before we get to the people's questions, talk to me about the sparring partner selection.
We put a great deal of thought into who we bring in and why we bring them in and when we bring them in. So it's one of those things where the right guy has to be at the right time and the right fit, and you also want the right chemistry of guys, for what you're trying to do that particular week. So I feel good about where we are. We've had lots of guys in. We've had Craig Lewis and Robert Alfonso and Stephen Shaw, Junior Fa, Manuel Odiasi, Malik Scott. I know I'm leaving some guys out. Amron Sands, it's been a good thing. We've had a lot of guys mixing in, and like I said, I know I'm forgetting somebody, but I don't.
Talk to me about the German. I won't even try to pronounce Emmanuel's last name.
He's very athletic. He moves well. Very tall. He's young, but I think he comes highly recommended. I've seen him on video. He's signed with the top people over in Germany. And they got a lot of faith in him to send him over here to be in champ camp. So we're glad to have him. He's a good kid too. He's a really, really good attitude, and he's excited about this. He's in that beginning part of his journey. So we're excited for him.
So today will be his first day. He hasn't actually stepped in the ring with Deontay.
No. Today will be his very first day in the ring, and he'll get into the groove, and everybody has to have that first time where they do something like this. If they want to get to the next level, they've got to go through this kind of thing.
Now let me ask you, has he been in the ring with professionals before?
Yeah, he trains primarily with a lot of the professionals over there in Germany, and he sparred with most of the better professionals in Germany. So, they're not Deontay, but at the same time, they are professional fighters, and he has grown up, boxing with professionals. So I feel good for him. I'm excited for him, and he's a good kid. I think he's going to help us out.
What do you think he's going to be bringing to the camp? When I spoke to him, he felt like that maybe he was brought here because of his legs. He says he moves very well.
Yeah, he's a mover. Fury is a mixed bag. He's not a mover, but he's not a stalker. He boxes close, he boxes medium, he boxes far. So you have to have a little bit of everything. You have to piece it together. So we got a guy like Junior Fa, who is more apt to come forward. Then you've got a guy like Emmanuel, who's more apt to move and use his legs. So we're trying to, then you got a guy like Malik Scott, who can turn lefty. So we're trying to piece it together as best we can, because Tyson Fury's a Rubik's Cube. He's a tough guy to pin down, and a tough guy to know what he's gonna do.
Did you, I don't know how on top of the new media you stay, but obviously they released the BT Sports, which is helping promote this fight on the UK side. They released a Ben Davison segment today where he was giving his keys to victory for Tyson Fury, and he feels that Fury needs to smother Wilder, stay on the inside. He repeated working down the clock, tying him up, walking him back, working that clock down. Do you think that that's something that Fury would implement into the fight? Obviously, he's not with Ben anymore, but do you think he'll try to work that clock down and survive?
He's kind of, Ben is kind of a master of strategy, and he did a great job getting Tyson ready for the first one. Fury knows his way around the ring, and the thing that he does very well is he will take a 3-minute round, bring it down to 45 seconds of actual combat, and try to win the 45 seconds. So, they call it stealing rounds, and he's very good at it. And then at the end of the rounds, he's going to raise his hand so that, the judges think he won the round whether he did or not. And he's good at that too. So, it's our job to not let that happen. Deontay's in great shape, and Deontay can work 3 minutes a round nonstop. So we're not worried about if they want to fight close, they want to fight more at a distance. Whatever they want to do, we're going to be ready for it.
As a trainer, what would be the downside if I am punching Deontay Wilder's right hand with my jab left hand from the orthodox position? Because again, Ben Davison in this footage believes that is one of the things that Tyson did. By occupying Wilder's right hand, he can't use it for offense.
Which is a sound, in theory, it's sound. What The downside of it is that Deontay is so fast that while your hand is out here, even if you're touching his right hand, he can beat you back. So by the time you bring this hand back, the right hand has come over it. So you know, Deontay's got a lot of things he can do, and you know, let's not forget, they know each other. They've been in there 12 rounds, so they're well familiar with each other. And even though they may each bring different wrinkles and change things up a little bit, at the end of the day, they still know each other pretty well.
Do you buy into the whole "I'm gonna knock him out in 2 rounds" from Fury? Do you think
I don't know.
look for a knockout?
I don't know. He may be, you know, and if he is, he's going to leave himself open to things as well. Because when you take chances, that's why they call them chances. You know, your chance can go either way. And so if he you know, tries to go after Deontay and stalk him, then you know, Deontay boxes very well off the back foot and can pivot and turn and make things happen from a variety of angles. So you know, if that happens and Fury's taking chances, he's going to take chances. That gives Deontay opportunities.
According again to Ben Davison, Deontay's wide stance was the reason that Fury was able to manage the distance, stay away from some of those right hands, and stay out of danger. Do you believe in that?
No. The Deontay's stance allows him to be more athletic. If you bring your stance too close, it makes you tall, it makes you stiff, and you're not able to do as much. You don't want to do a split, don't get me wrong, but I advocate that a boxer should be about 1/2 inch or so outside, each foot about 1/2 inch or so outside his shoulders, a little bit wider than shoulder width is the norm for boxers. I like it a little bit wider than shoulder width. And when you got a body like Deontay, he's got a very unique body. He's got very strong legs, but they're thin legs. They're thin and they're strong, but he's got an upper body that's enormous. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out if you've got a building this tall at the top and the bottom of the building is this, you know, that building is more apt to lean and get out of position and crumble. Well, what we did was we widened the stance a little bit for Deontay, and that gave him the stability he needed. Hang on 1 second, okay?
Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/Thaboxingvoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.